If we take a look back at the sequel trilogy and how things really flowed by Disney and Lucasfilm, we can see that it was quite an emotional roller coaster for the Star Wars fandom, where The Force Awakens set everything up and really opened the gateway for The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was a disappointment, and as you all saw, Episode 9 was really a way to kind of recover from the middle point of the trilogy that did not work out to the best of its ability. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, as you all know, Daisy Ridley has been really a lot more direct with the fans for the past couple of months now. She's been visiting Lucasfilm several times. She's been teasing a lot of things on her Instagram stories. A lot of great things coming out of this. Now, we know that Jon and Dave are up to great things with the character of Rey. Basically, what they are up to is that they have a full-fledged plan to reinvent the character of Rey in an upcoming post-Episode 9 series. That's going to be a limited series, mind you, not a multi-season show. Very high budget, very movie-like, very cinematic looking, and that's the overall game plan for expanding the sequel trilogy lore, but to make it of their own. Now, looking at Daisy Ridley, that was basically her big gig when it came to her acting career, was the character of Rey in the Star Wars franchise, and basically things are now being worked out to bring her back on board for this post-Episode 9 series. So let's tap into exactly what Daisy Ridley had to tease about the character of Rey, her bloodline, the changes that are on the horizon, as well as her future in the Star Wars franchise, and exactly what's also on the way by Lucasfilm. So, with both Disney and Lucasfilm getting ready to develop new Star Wars TV shows that will be announced this April, it's noted that currently big adjustments are happening behind closed doors. However, in a recent interview that Daisy Ridley actually took part in, she went on to reveal something spectacular involving her character Rey, and how it also involves the Kenobi bloodline. Now, Daisy went on to state the following. So, when I was working on Episode 7, the original idea that JJ had was to make Rey's backstory connected to the Kenobi family tree. Then this was also picked up again for Episode 9, in which JJ wanted to establish that I was going to be the granddaughter of Obi-Wan himself. Kathy felt that this was going to be too obvious and wanted to go dark with a couple of things with pushing the Palpatine narrative. Right now, though, what I can hint and tease to fans is that Lucasfilm is up to something very special with my character on how they can revert to those original plans and are finding ways to establish those original concepts that almost happened. So let me stop right here for a second. Now, we already know what Jon and Dave are up to behind the scenes. We talked about this multiple times the past couple of months now, that basically what they are doing is that they are not only reinventing Rey, but they're also going back to the original plans by J.J. Abrams of making her into a Kenobi, and Jon and Dave is making their own spin on this. Basically what they're doing is they are about to establish a character called Waylon Kenobi, that's going to be the brother of Obi-Wan Kenobi, a younger brother, mind you, that's going to serve as the grandfather of Rey. So though Rey won't necessarily be the granddaughter of, Obi-Wan himself, she'll be the granddaughter of Waylon Kenobi, the younger brother of Obi-Wan. And about that, what's really exciting about this is that they're keeping the Palpatine side of the story intact, but adding on the Kenobi bloodline to really make her, truly embedded in two of the most powerful characters in the Star Wars franchise out there. Now, of course, a lot of fans are going to probably debate that and really kind of have some problems with that, such as, what are the odds of Rey having both a Palpatine and Kenobi bloodline, right? Now, the overall structure of what Jon and Dave are aiming for is that it's the Force that brought Palpatine's son and, of course, the daughter of Waylon Kenobi together to actually bring Rey into this world. Now, we already know that Rey's mother's name is Miramur Solana. That's the overall name that's going to be made by Jon and Dave. Right now, she's only known as Miramur, but they're adding on the Solana surname. And then you have Palpatine's son, that's Dathan Palpatine, that's going to meet Miramir, and basically that's going to lead to Rey. So you can see how the whole family tree is actually starting down the line. Now, Daisy Ridley went on to elaborate things further by stating the following: "Though I can't reveal everything that's going on, what I will also say is that John and Dave, who are amazing creators and people, are the ones responsible for making these revised plans for Rey and what her background is going to be like in the future. I am absolutely excited to share more information as we move later into the year. They truly are doing something special with the legacy of Rey and who she really is, and of course, I hope everyone enjoys the ride. It's going to be quite a thrill for sure." Now, the thing about this too, guys, we've also pointed this out before in the past, that it was Jon Favreau who told Joby Harold, the writer of the Kenobi series, specifically to add in that line of dialogue from Kenobi where he states, "I believe I had a brother, a younger brother. I remember a baby's hand." And the reason why Jon Favreau wanted Joby Harold to insert that is because he has these fleshed out plans to make Rey the granddaughter of Obi-Wan's brother. Now, obviously Obi-Wan's brother is not a Jedi, but he is a Force-sensitive individual. That's the overall plan that they have in place. In fact, in Legends, they had Obi-Wan's brother actually in there. I believe they might have even made Obi-Wan's brother as Owen, if I'm not mistaken, in Legends. I'm not quite sure. It's a little mysterious there, but looking back on everything here, we know that there's a lot of great things coming out of this, because not only are they reinventing Rey, but they're making the character more entertaining and holding more value. I know that when The Force Awakens first came out, a lot of fans had issues with the character of Rey for instantly learning abilities, right? Such as, the Jedi mind trick and the ability to use a saber almost like that at the snap of a finger. And the overall, idea at the time that fans were coming up with is that she was a previous Jedi that got her mind wiped out, and she's only now relearning her abilities. That would have made more sense. Obviously it would have, but that wasn't the case. She really was a random character that was thrown on Jakku that just learned the Jedi mind trick, that just learned how to use a lightsaber, that just learned how to use the Force out of nowhere. And that, believe it or not, is because, like I said, and like what Daisy said, JJ originally wanted to make her into a Kenobi, hence the Jedi mind trick. That was the telltale as well. Hence her also hearing Kenobi's voice in the flashback or the vision scene in the basement of Takodana's castle, or Maz Kanata's castle on Takodana. So, anyways, I'm very much intrigued to hear what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.